What's up, you guys? We're about to go hang out with some high ticket sales bros. We are going to, I don't think there's an occasion other than our guy Nick being in town. Nick is a community member, been crushing it, have a one-on-one interview with him. Solid guy, he was at the meetup. If you guys were at the meetup, maybe you met him. So he's here. We got our boy Noah, we got Tony behind the camera. We're gonna go hang out with some cool people there. There's gonna be like 4 or 5 people from the community that are there, and that's not even everyone in Austin, not even close to it. So that's what we're gonna do right now. Probably do some interviews. I have a question in my mind that I think is gonna be pretty good. You might be able to tell from the title of this. Besides that, take you along, hang out a little bit, and we'll see what else we get into.
Okay, so he's at 6.
Happy Nick Day.
Happy Nick Day. Nick Day! No way. What's up, you guys? We're at the party. We're partying. I'm gonna go around and ask everybody. A lot of high ticket closers, sales managers, offer owners. Noah, before you got into high ticket sales, what is one thing that you thought was true that after you got in, after you had success, made some good money, turned out not to be true?
Oh, that at a snap of a fingers, you're gonna make 10K a month. Now, can you make 10K a month? Easy. You can make 20, 30, 40K a month. But if you come into this thinking, okay, I'm gonna show up on an offer, I'm gonna take 3, 4 calls a day, and at the end of the month, I'm gonna see a $20,000 commission check, probably not gonna happen, okay? Like, I want a lot of you guys to understand that these high-level offers that are actually doing $1 million months, they are not just some offer you show up on, you have a quick little meeting, you take a couple calls, go drink a coffee mid-afternoon. No, you're still working, you're grinding. At the end of the day, this is sales. You gotta be ready to come and work and actually help people and change lives. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people attach themselves to a number, which is your commission. But you have to realize, the people giving you this money are also people with lives and families. These people are changing lives too. A lot of these offers do good things. And so you have to realize, you have to come in ready to work and help people and actually become a person who is going to actually sell a good product. So that's really what I think. I think the 10K a month, absolutely. High ticket is one of the greatest. It changed my life. Truthfully, it changed my life. But just realize, if you're not willing to work, you're not going to make it. You're not going to work 2 hours a day. I promise you. You're not going to work 2 hours a day and make it. You have to be ready to work.
It's getting harder out there for y'all. All right, so.
That was a long-winded answer, but.
No, it's good. It's good. It's a fair answer. We're just gonna ask we got a bunch of good people here today, so we're gonna ask a bunch of people.
Absolutely.
But that's number one. You heard it from Noah. Next clip, we got Jonathan Gilardi, owns a high ticket sales training and placement program. We got Val, sales manager, director?
Sales manager, yeah. Sales
manager for an offer that does pretty good revenue from what I understand, and some of the sales reps are here right now. 2 people that have crushed it in this industry. We're asking one question. I asked Noah, Susong, I'm gonna ask people after y'all. What is one thing about the high ticket sales industry that you thought was true, but then upon getting into it was not true?
What I thought was true about it was it's easy cash. You gotta work, you gotta learn the product, you gotta grind a bit, you gotta really earn your stripes if you're brand new. You're not just gonna pop in and make $1 million. You can do hard work and it's very rewarding, but you have to put in the effort, you have to learn, you have to be coachable. Not just gonna show up and make $1 million.
Fair.
Yeah, in a similar lane, that any offer that you get on is going to be great and you're going to make the money that you want to make, when in reality you have to find alignment with that offer and you have to work on your skill consistently every single day to be at the top, and those at the top in this industry can make the money that you were looking to make and even expand past that amount per month.
Yeah, because that's the thing, is that if you really do love the offer and it's really helping people and you get behind it, you can make great cash and create a great lifestyle. But also getting into that offer is a bit of a journey in the beginning too.
Yeah. Second question, because you guys are both not just closers, but you're in a position of having closers under you. Think about your top closer right now. What do they do that the other ones don't?
I got a great answer for this, but do you want to go first?
Yeah, they review one of their calls every single morning, even though they're at the top, and that just allows their close rate to continue to increase and increase, versus those that are even at the middle or or way below them aren't doing that. So they hold themselves to a high standard and it's not enough. They just continue to reach for a higher standard.
Hell yeah. Yeah, my guy Brian, he, other than being very consistent with follow-up, with communication, I think his biggest thing is he does not take things personal. If they give him an objection, he's just chill about it. He's just chatting with them.
Detached.
He's very detached from the outcome, but he's also been doing it a long time, so he's just very good at what he does.
Cool. I'm not gonna hold you all too long. We'll put the pop tags up, get y'all's Instagrams on there, but that's that. Thank you.
That's
Awesome.
it.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right, Mr. Executive, sir.
This is what it feels like. 2 million cash collected. You know, can't lie, man. I love my penthouse now.
This is what happens when you increase shareholder value.
This is Nick, solid guy in Austin right now. Let's see. For those of you that don't know Nick, we have an interview. It's been doing really well while traveling the whole time. I am asking, so far, everyone the same question. What is one thing that you thought was true about high ticket sales before you got in and it turned out to not be true once you got in?
That you have to start as a setter, honestly. You really can just be good at what you do and network with the right people and have a story, have an edge, and you don't necessarily have to start as a setter. Because to be honest, when I started, I was like, okay, let's start setting, but then I started closing and been on the same offer for just over a year.
Yeah.
Setting's a good option, honestly, for some people, but it's not something that you absolutely need to do firsthand, but you have to be solid, you have to have an edge, you have to know what the fuck you're talking about, to be honest.
What do you think that you had that allowed you to skip setting?
For one, a little bit of outside sales experience, and two, just like confidence and bringing people together. I'm really, really good at bringing people together. And so because I've been doing that over years and I've worked on myself internally, had my own kind of personal journey, you know, I can do what I do pretty well.
Yeah. I mean, you've been doing it for a while. Like you said, it's just over a year or almost a year? Or?
Over a year. A year. I mean, honestly, I hit 13 months today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you guys heard it here first. Nick, community dude.
Yes, sir.
Made it happen.
Like, dude, we could hit like a Slav squat together, like this. That's crazy.
Yeah, we gotta post up on the stairs with all the community dudes.
Just be like, have every single person in the community with a job up there.
All right, you guys. These guys, pretty familiar to the channel, part of the team, solid dudes. I'm gonna ask them the same question we've been asking everyone. What is one thing that you thought was true about high ticket sales that once you got in, turned out not to be true?
Okay, I'll say for me, the number one thing that is like grossly over exaggerated is the schedule that you're gonna be on, right? Now this may vary a little bit, right? For me, what I'm known for on the channel, I'm the DM guy, right? So in my head, it doesn't take that long to be in high ticket sales. I spend like 30 minutes a day texting people and that's it. But there's been this misconception or idea applied to being a closer, being a setter that, I'm gonna work 4 hours a day and make 20K a month. And in some circumstances you can do that, right? So I'll give like the disclaimer right now that this is possible. This is definitely a thing where you can get on a good offer and make that much money. And we've had people in the community that have done that. But in reality, what you're doing when you get into 1099 contracted sales is you're gonna be in a sales role, right? Now, you shouldn't be working like 12 hours a day or anything like that, closing for an offer. If you're doing that, that's probably by choice, or you're on a bad offer and you should just hit the hiring channel, find something else. But high ticket sales isn't the industry where you're gonna work 3 hours a day and make 30K a month.
Pretty much hit the nail on the head. You gotta work. I don't know what it is, like people coming into this space. Hey, I wanna work 5, 10 hours, 20 hours per week. I mean, you can if you get really good, and then you could really like condense your time and still make some pretty good amount of money, but it's gonna be work at the end of the day. Like people are coming in from other industries, whether it's tech sales or whether it's like a 9 to 5, it's like you're still gonna be working probably like 6 to 8, maybe sometimes 10, depends if you're on that grind set, but for the most part, like it's not just gonna be like you're working 4 hours per day and then making like 2 million per year type thing. It's like it's still work at the end of the day.
Okay, let's talk about this. Y'all are all in the loop. I'm not gonna name any names. We've had people come to us and they're like, I want to make $1 million per year. And I'll just be honest with you guys, there's never been anyone that's come into our community and done that. Have people done that in this industry? I believe so. I don't know them. I don't know any of them. Do y'all know any of them?
Me personally, no.
I know there's one guy that you did an interview with on the Sales Bro Pod that did like $80K in a month.
Yeah,
But that's one time.
yeah, that was like a launch.
It's like an agency.
I think he probably ended at like 600, which is wild. And he's young too. But anyways, we've had some people come to us and they're like, dude, I want to make $1 million per year. Or I want to make $500,000 per year. Like, place me in that role. That doesn't exist, man. Like,
Placement's a lie.
like thinking that you can get placed into a 7-figure or a 500K per year role is the opposite of a 7-figure per year mindset. Like, you're just looking for someone to hand you out $1 million in a single year. Like, come on, man, get serious. So I had to get that off my chest. It was weighing heavy on me.
Yeah.
And half of them be unemployed anyways. They don't even have a normal job. So I'm like, man, hit the oil rig. I'm like, damn, bro, you got to get a normal job first.
Wait.
Show me a band.
They be digging.
Nobody be digging. Hey, what do you do for work? Phone? Nah.
Like,
Here, can I throw like a
charge my
caveat
phone,
into
hot
this though?
Cheetos.
Yeah.
So one thing that I don't know, in sales in general, right, as the entire industry, you can do that, right? Now, what I'm going to say, and this is going to depend on who you are on the other side of the screen. There's been people, point the camera at him, back to me, all right, who have gone from being sales reps to business owners in the sales industry. So it's not impossible. And I think I was telling somebody about this the other day, like, this dude right here, pointing at him again, back to me, all right. This guy, some days I don't know if he can spell his name correctly. He's been doing this stuff for like 2-3 years, right? 2 or 3 years, and makes a lot of money, right? Went from being a sales rep like me and Diego, like all the people in that room over there, and then leveraged his skills and turned into something bigger at each step, right? So the 1099 remote game is the only place that I've seen in general, outside of maybe you get a corporate role and you get a crazy amount of stock at a startup that you just bet on or whatever, and then you make $500K one year. Outside of a situation like that, there's no other industry where you can come in and be a closer on a good offer and make 10, 12K a month, and you say, actually, you know what, Mr. Offer Owner, this is broken in the funnel. Let me take this over. And then you start adding things onto your resume. You start charging for more things. You rebuild the funnel or whatever. You renegotiate. Let me get a piece of the revenue or whatever, right? Then over time, you go from being a 10K a month closer to a 50K a month manager. And then from there, you turn into a 100K a month business owner, right? And you can do that in a year. And I've seen that happen so many times. So even though I'll say this, as a sales rep, you are never going to make $1 million in a year as a fucking closer. Get that out of your mind. But it's completely possible to just leverage the skill that you've developed as a closer and then do that.
People have done it, $1 million in a year, but I think going off of what Noah's saying is just assume that's not you. Because, bro, that is like, I'm not even joking. There's people that have done $1 million in a year. I think Jeremy Miner did $1 million in a year in sales commissions. The guy also makes nearly $3.5 million per month right now, so it's on a different level. But yeah, just get realistic. Commission-only sales, one of the riskier things you can get into. Any kind of commission-based sales, solar, pest control, insurance. There's people that make a shit ton of money in all those industries, and this one just so happens to be remote. I'm not biased, but I'm a pattern recognizer.
More about sales or stuff that's interesting.
Well, she's in sales now, yeah.
She's doing like functional training, like fitness, like she's building her own.
I remember Noah was like,
Nobody here got closed except Cam.
Cam got closed? Bro, I hopped on the
I put a
call.
little pressure on Cam.
I remember hopping on the call and I was like, hey Jake, listen, like he's like trying to go into like, so what do you do right now? Blah, blah. And I'm like, Jake, just show me what the community does, and like as long as I know like there's good opportunities, like we can have a conversation about next steps. He's like, oh, okay, we'll just dive into it then. Because I was like, stop asking me like, how do you feel about that? It's like, dude, I want to join. Just like show me what is involved.
Yeah, I was like,
Can we show what's different about the community now? These people joined when this wasn't a thing.
500 jobs in the past 2 months.
Look, I'm scrolling up to the top. I'm still going. If we go back down to the bottom, I'm still going. I'm still going. I'm still going. That's changed. That's new. It gets better. Tell him to bring out the whole ocean. You never heard him say that? He's on like the jet ski and he's like, tell him to bring out the whole ocean.
All right, you guys, that was the video. Hopefully a good one, quick one. We are about to go out and have a time with some of the community guys, some of the other people that are with us right now. The high ticket space can be really good. It can also be really bad if you don't know what you're doing. Any kind of commission only sales can be that. Insurance, solar, pest, financial advising, a lot of things are commission only. And some of the richest people in the world do those things. Insurance agency owners, rich. Solar company owners, rich. With higher risk comes higher reward. When you're going for a super high risk commission only kind of thing, like, you need to mitigate downside or else you're gonna be one of those people that has a poor experience. So hopefully you learn something from these guys on some things that are widely far spread and advertised when they shouldn't be. I personally think that this space gets a bad rap in a lot of cases because there's a lot of people selling shitty programs promising the moon and the stars, and it makes it seem like the norm when it's not. So you guys heard it from some people that all the people in this video are making good money or have made good money in this industry. It's not rocket science, it's not some fad business model. It's one of the oldest professions in the world, which is sales on the biggest platform that is known to man, which is the internet. And that's what high ticket sales is. Remote setting, remote closing, 1099. You guys go down below. First link in the description is the link to join our community. If you just want access to jobs, that's what we do. We also got personal newsletter down below. Because of sales newsletter down below. We got everything you need. Just go to the link in the description and we'll see you guys in the next one.